So, we got ourselves yet another video. This video will yet again be recorded on my iPhone because it is a much simpler way in order to get a thought out than having to turn my computer on, sit down, open Audacity, save the location, all that, which, to be honest with you, I don't feel like turning the PC on. It's late at night. But reading a news article sort of got my brain thinking about the current state of the COVID-19 pandemic in this country. And to be honest with you, I have really not tried to think about it all that much because, well, it's a bit depressing in a lot of ways, especially the way that a lot of our government, at least in the country that I live in, has sort of decided to handle these things. But one thing that I've noticed as the course of this thing has gone on, it's been more than a year now since all of this started, and we slowly reopened, and now we're still basically fully open, but more restrictions, mask mandates, all that stuff might be coming back, especially to my home state of California. One thing I've noticed that a lot of countries are sort of going through the same thing, but America is in an interesting spot because a lot of countries, vaccines have plateaued in terms of the rate. How many more people are getting vaccinated per day would skyrocket in the beginning when it's available after the scarcity's gone, and now that it's fully available, you just don't get it. People aren't getting it. And of course, states and such have given significant incentives. I think the administration is now talking about giving $100 to anyone who gets a shot, which is not retroactive, sadly. I guess that is a bad side effect of getting the vaccine early. I don't know. Maybe people said I flexed it, but I got the vaccine pretty early, which means I am also a candidate. Basically, I would be right up around the time for me to get a booster shot because the Biden administration has now proposed that American citizens who have gotten the coronavirus vaccine fully should go in for a third booster shot, or second if you're taking the Janssen, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I don't really know how to pronounce it, to be completely honest with you. Get a third or second dose of the vaccine 8 months after being fully vaccinated. And I got vaccinated in January, so by the time this all rolls out to me, sometime in September, I will definitely be fully vaccinated. So by the end of September, I should be going in and getting my third dose, which will be a bit of a trip because, school's going to be starting again. It's not going to be online. I'm in college. I have a lot of work to do for what I want to do in college. So it's going to be tough, but, we got it. So the booster shots are one thing. That's one thing the American government has proposed and is going to most likely implement very soon because, early studies from Israel mostly, have shown that, a third booster shot might just boost up effectiveness because it seems that efficacy of the vaccine might go down as time goes on, though not by a massive margin. But enough of a margin where the U.S. government decided, hey, let's play it safe, get people more safe. You know what I mean? Safe and safe. Now, it sucks because, we might need that booster shot because of the Delta variant. And this is the biggest thing that people are more fearful about, especially this month and last month. A new variant had overtaken from, I believe this is the Indian variant that people were talking about, the one that originated in India and ravaged the country as it went through its big wave. But here's the thing. It's called Delta variant now because, we're trying to be very objective with our naming, not blaming countries. Of course, the coronavirus came from Wuhan, China, but we're not calling it the Wuhan virus or the China virus, or as former President Trump called it, the Kung flu, because those are pretty derogatory, I must admit, even if it's kind of funny, as a lot of what Trump said is. Just being honest with you, that's how I felt about the president, I didn't really like the guy, but shit, he's a funny dude. He coined the phrase, we do a little trolling, and me and my friends still use it all the time. So what can I say about that? So that's that. But, of course, Delta variant, way more contagious, way more likely to break through to fully vaccinated people. But mostly just way more contagious. I'm not 100% sure. It might be less or more deadly. I think one of the predictions people had was that as the virus mutates, it progressively gets easier to spread, but harder to kill. As in, less likely to be as harmful. But a lot of people are getting ravaged by the Delta variant, and one big issue is children. And I think this is one of the big things. People, when this virus first hit, people were like, oh, children don't really get affected by it. And comparatively, no, they don't. Although we have seen fringe cases, but there was only a few people, children who've actually died from it, and still not that many people who have actually been hospitalized for it. Now it seems like those cases have been going up. More children have been going to the ICU. More children have gotten cases. And, well, it's been kind of a mess. It seems like the Delta variant is a lot more effective at getting into children, which is not great. Because, as we know, we can't get our kids vaccinated under 12. Now, they've had it authorized for children 12 and over, even when it was previously 16. And in the Moderna's case, 18. But now it's 12 and over. Can get the vaccine. The people under 12, however, can't. And they still got to go to in-person school, of course, because, well, especially for younger children, in-person learning, physical, more, hands-on learning, and actual face-to-face contact with teachers and such is very important. And, of course, people are complaining about kids having to wear masks in school. Now, what's my personal thoughts on that? Well, I've said this before. I am not a fan of facial coverings. I don't like them. They make it harder for me to breathe. I'm sure everyone feels the same way about them. But it's not a massive issue. I mean, my college has about earlier this month, has authorized a mandate for every student, if indoors, to be wearing a face covering. So, there you go. I've already had to experience this because my college is a very nice gym, but now I have to lift and run and do all that jazz in a face mask. And boy, is it annoying now that I have to wash my damn face masks way more often because they smell like shit because I'm sweating through them. I'm a sweaty dude, what can I say? So, mask mandates are coming up back in the schools. I believe Governor Newsom of California has decided that, the schools, K through 12 at the very least, should have a mask mandate. And that's all fine and dandy. Some people are protesting it. Some people might be choosing not to do it. But at the moment, that's basically what it's going to be like. So, there you go. Now, what about... Oh, yeah, Newsom, recall election. That's another thing I wanted to really quickly touch on because it has some relation to the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah, so it turns out, our governor has actually been threatened with a recall election. And vote by mail has already started. August 16th, they started to get shipped out. I believe 2 days ago, I got my ballot in the mail. I filled it out. I postmarked it, put in the damn thing. Wrote my name, my address, signature. I got in my car. Well, not my car, my mom's car, but it's my car because I get to drive it. I got in my car. I drove to my public library, and I dropped it off. I voted for the first time as a citizen of this country. And I feel good about it, Now, I'll just be honest with my political opinion. I voted no on the recall. I just personally don't see a purpose to having a recall right now, especially during a time of crisis. I just would rather have the same person running the things, so, we don't have a huge change of plans. And for God's sakes, our election is in a year. Might as well just, what's even the point? Because this guy's going to show up for a year. Oh, wow, he's going to do so much good for the country in a year, or the state. And then he's going to get, he's going to be up for re-election, or whatever. There's literally no point. I just don't think there's a point. And from the candidates I have seen who have been running as the popular ones in the polls, like Larry Elder, I don't really see them as being much more effective leaders than our current governor. I don't think Newsom's perfect, but I don't think any of the other candidates are any better. And that's how I feel about this. And that's honestly how I feel about a lot of these elections. That, well, I don't like this candidate, but this other guy's worse, so I might as well vote for the other guy, the first guy, right? I mean, Hillary and Trump, Biden and Trump, Obama and McCain, if you want to believe that, maybe. Maybe not Bush and Gore. People actually liked Al Gore because of his pro conservation and climate change awareness viewpoints. Which, I mean, shit, if Al Gore was president, we might have had a better future. But what are we gonna do? There wasn't even a goddamn baby. I was a sperm cell in my dad's nuts. So what can I say about that? I can't complain because I had no sway. But now, as a adult, because I am 18, I have the right to vote, and I'm gonna do my damnedest to use it. Because with what little power I have as a young male citizen of this country, I might as well use what I can in order to influence things for what I believe to be the better good. Greater good is probably a better way to phrase that. So, all in all, we got a lot of shit to talk about, you know? I mean, shit. And the main reason that I even recorded this, I just didn't talk about because I'm a forgetful person. So let's get to the last topic, which is one of the funny ones to me. Trump was booed by his own supporters at a rally in Alabama for encouraging them to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, as far as I can tell, we haven't really seen a ton of evidence showing that Trump was very against the vaccine. But I think he knew that his fan base didn't like it because they were anti-anything with this damn virus. At least the bad ones. I mean, I'm sure there's some reasonable Trump supporters out there who are like, yeah, we should get vaccinated and wear a mask and stuff. And frankly, I've read this a lot and I agree with that I really see this as a missed opportunity for Trump. I mean, he could have had like MAGA masks, get vaccinated to be patriotic, wear a mask to be a real patriot of America. Better incentives, tax incentives, all that jazz to get masked up and vaccinated and all that. And he could have used his massive cult of personality around him, but no, he wanted to appeal to his base, and he shared skepticism, and perhaps more lives could have been saved if he took a more cautious approach, or even more bombastic approach on the other way. But who's to know? He's not the president anymore. Biden is, and, well, what happened, happened. We got to move on, and we got to look into it. But it was really funny. He was booed. And he's like, okay, I understand. But it's a good vaccine, and you guys should take it. I would let you guys know if I had any side effects. And I haven't. I felt fine. Because, of course, Trump was vaccinated, I think, around December, January, around the time that he also came down with COVID-19 and was in the ICU and had to get experimental antibody treatment because he didn't seem so hot, even if, well, he had the best government healthcare, basically the best healthcare in the world, because he's the damn president of the United States. But, of course, yeah, what do you expect? You expect them not to do that? They want the president to be alive, not have to have Pence or whoever be president. I'm not saying, like, Pence to be a bad or good president, but, you know, it's a lot easier to have the current guy in. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I mean, summarizing this video, vaccine mandates, they're going to be coming out because, well, the FDA is going to approve the vaccine soon. Moderna, maybe a little later, but at least Pfizer, maybe Johnson & Johnson. And we'll see how that goes because although I'm sure that the government won't literally force people to line up and get shots in their arms or else, you know, they get threatened with punishment, they can definitely penalize and also incentivize people to get vaccinated, which is cool. I mean, I wish it didn't have to come down to this, but people won't do it. They don't trust. They also don't give a shit. So when it starts affecting their personal livelihood, their dollars, and just their general pleasures in life, then people would want to do it. As well, this is an issue because the Delta variant is ravaging a lot of the country, especially the unvaccinated parts of it, which means that we're going to have to go back to mask mandates. We already have it in a lot of places, and that's annoying for me personally, and I wouldn't want to do that, but, you know, I understand that it is for the greater good. At the same time, I am fatigued, although the majority of the world has gone back to normal in enough capacity where I can be satisfied. And that's all I want. I want normalcy. And I think I've had that. We've had enough gatherings. The vast majority of people I know are fully vaccinated, and the ones who aren't are going to soon. As soon as the FDA approves it. Not even lying. So, I am pessimistic but optimistic. I think that we have a long way to go, and I think we need to get more people with shots in their arms. It'll save the damn country. But I am proud of the progress that we have made so far, where a slim majority, but a majority of Americans are fully vaccinated. And I do believe that within time, and some careful prodding and incentives and penalties, we can get our country back to full roaring success. And all of this will just go behind us, and the COVID-19 will just become another common flu. or common cold. And, well, we don't lock down because of the flu, do we? Not anymore, at least. But we did in 1918. And we're in the same spot now, nearly 1,000 years later. So, what are you going to do about that? Oh, quick addendum. Not 1,000 years later. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. A couple hundred years later. There you go. My brain's a little stupid. It's like 2:15 in the morning when I'm recording this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Whatever gameplay I decide to put on top of it. I'm not sure about what I'm going to do for that. If I'm going to have music or just some gunplay or what. But I do want to make this easy to listen. You can just sit down in your little bed, because I like to listen to commentary videos like this when I sleep. It's helpful. I hope that everything is all good with you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your pets, all that. And I bid you a good day.